Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. It's, it's Thursday today and I'm here with a mystery challenge for you. So today I posted earlier today the challenge. So it was to make a project with at least 3 of the following. So black, silver, stencil, ribbon, embossing folder, embossing powder. Lots of options for you to choose from that list. And in fact, I am using, let's see, 2, 4. I'm using 5 out of the 6, but you really only needed to use 3. So there was lots of options to choose from. And clearly I couldn't decide. So I'm going to use 5 out of the 6 for mine. Now I'm using the Abundant Beauty decorative masks today. These are amazing masks. They not only are they the flowers, hello, not only are they the flowers, kind of the daisies with the leaves, there are also some houndstooth, a houndstooth pattern. There are snowflakes, and then there's a fall pattern that you can use. They're amazing. And then the big flowers, the daisy ones, you can actually layer, and I'll show you how to do that today. Hello, I'm not sure who that is, but welcome. So if you do play along with it and you make a card, don't forget to share it in my Facebook group, and the link to that group is underneath that. If you're coming in through Facebook or in through YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also you can catch me, you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. I think I forgot to say that. All right, let's switch over and I'll get started on my card. So this was the challenge. So black, silver, stencil, ribbon, embossing folder, embossing powder. Lots to choose from for today's card. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to use. I've got them here. So these are the Abundant Beauty decorative masks. They come in a package, and you kind of think that these are the ones. So there are 4. So there's these kind of daisy-like flowers, the centers for the flowers, and then this is the 2 center parts for the flowers, and then the leaves. Now, the cool part, I'll go over these in a minute. The cool part about these masks is there is a notch up here. It's kind of hard to see. A notch here in the corner. And there's also, if you can see that, a number. So each of them has a number on them. So this is 1, this is 4, trying to find 3. So 3, 4, 2. That doesn't mean you have to do them in this particular order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do them in any order because these notches allow you to line it up. Hey, Felicia, just makes it so easy. And you can see I haven't cleaned this off, but these wipe up really well and clean off really easily. Okay, so that's why I'm using those today. But the other ones, which were a surprise to me when I opened it, are these snowflakes, this houndstooth, and then this really pretty kind of fall pattern. I've seen some cool things done with these where you can actually do some embossing using your silicone mat and your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'll show you that another day because it was really cool when I saw it. Okay, so let me show you. Here we go. What I'm going to use today. All right, I'm using basic black. So my idea for my card is 1, so basic black. This is the silver. It's kind of a purpley color, so that's kind of why I'm using purples and yellow and green for my flowers. So this is the silver specialty foil. It comes in silver, brushed silver, and then trying to think about their one silver, brushed silver. There were 3 different ones. This is kind of the one that is kind of a purpley tone. Very pretty. I've gone ahead and cut that out using the deckled rectangles. So I've gone ahead and cut that one out using the 2nd largest, and then I cut one out of white using the 3rd largest. So those will layer like that. So let's get this. my pieces. All right, so this is the piece I'm going to do the stenciling on. You have them, but you don't have. I've only used the leaves. Oh my gosh, Felicia, they are so gorgeous. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit. I'm going to put this on a silicone mat, and I'm going to, because I'm put a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to glue this down. And the reason I'm using a silicone mat is because this will come off very easily. And the silicone mat will kind of stay where I want it to stay. So I'm kind of just lining it up with my grid paper. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to keep my, I want to have my flowers in a certain spot. So I'm going to take, she says confidently. All right, I'm going to take, this is my black, just my regular black marker. And I've got my flowers positioned where I want them. And because I know this will wipe clean, I am marking that notch. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see that, but I can. So there's the notch up there. So that when I use my different, the different ones, I know how to line them up so I get them in the right spot. Now you can use, I'm going to use Post-it note tape just to kind of position this so it doesn't shift around as I'm using my blending brushes. Just trying to prevent it from moving too much. Okay, so I grabbed two. I've got Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. So I'm going to start with the lightest. And I've got a blending brush that I don't clean very often. I really should, but I don't. Okay, and I use my blending brushes. I leave the lid of my ink pad open and I tap down, and now I'm just going to kind of hold that in place. And I'm going to go over the flower, and you can make this as light or dark, but I'm using Highland Heather to start with. And then I'm going to go over it using, at least over part of it. I do want this a bit darker. I'm going to go over it in Gorgeous Grape, at least kind of the centers. Okay, so I think that's good. And then I'm going to keep this. So number 2 is the leaves and then the middle. So I'm going to actually, I was forgetting, close this. Have it. Okay. So this is the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to try and go kind of close to the center of the flower. I don't want the whole thing, but I just want some dark kind of close to the edge or close to the center of my flower. It's getting a little bit. Okay, there we go. So I've got my dark. So now I can pull this one off. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? So you kind of, I always thought, well, these are daisies. You need to, you know, use the yellows, but you really don't. Okay, so this is 3. I'm going to, I'll do the leaves afterwards. So now I'm just going to put my, this is number 3, which is the center of the flowers. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight on the center of my flowers. Gosh. Okay. And I'm going to go quite light. At least try to go quite light. There we go. I'm going to leave the Daffodil Delight open because there is another center of the flower that I'm going to, and again, I'm lining up that notch that I drew with my black marker, and it will clean nicely off of my silicone mat. Okay, now I'm going to try and go over this dark so that I've used the same color, but I'm just adding the darker, just more ink. And if you can always kind of lift this up and look at it, and definitely got a difference between the light and the dark. All right, Now that's yellow. And then I grabbed Mossy Meadow and Granny Apple Green. At least I think that's what I grabbed. Okay, so put this on one last time for the leaves. I'm going to start, well, no, actually I grabbed Parakeet Party. So there's not going to be much of the leaves showing on mine, only this bottom one. I think it's going to be really pretty. Okay, so that's the Parakeet Party. And then I'm just going to add just a touch on the edges, just to add a little bit of different tone to that using Mossy Meadow. All right, this is done. Look at that, how gorgeous that is. Now I can pull that off. Because this is a silicone mat, the Stampin' Seal will come off nicely. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, and you can if you really wanted to get in more of the the shading of this, you could really go to town. So this particular silver, because it's got that gorgeous, it's kind of got that purple shade to it, it just goes really nicely with this. Now on foil, I tend to use tear and tape adhesive because I think it sticks better. Foil and glimmer paper. I think the tear and tape adhesive sticks better than the Stampin' Seal and the liquid glue. So I'm going to use tear and tape. This way. And that will go on. So this is one size smaller of the deckled rectangle. Isn't that pretty? How gorgeous is that? Now it's going to go on black. So this piece of black is should be 4 1/4 by 11. So we'll score it at 5 1/2. Oh, it's not 11. All right, I need a different piece of black. Should have measured that. That's what happens when you just grab a piece of cardstock out of your drawer without measuring it. So it's too short. So we'll cut this to be 4 1/4 by 11. And then we'll score it at 5 1/2. And as always, this is the fold into the mountain or the raised line. And like that. Okay, so there's our card base. So I'm going to have a fair amount of the black showing, but that's okay. That's kind of what I want. All right, and so then this one, this again, I'm going to use the tear and tape. It should, this is the back of the foil, so it should be no issue at all. The backing isn't really kind of plasticky like some of them are, but since I had my tear and tape out, and I will do that. Okay, so then this is going to go on just like that. Isn't that pretty? Just so pretty. Okay, so we're going to, I'm going to use the Thank You from the Earth and Textures stamp set. I've got a piece of black here, and I'm going to just trim this. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to do some heat embossing using silver embossing powder. So I'm just going to take and use my embossing buddy. This is from the Embossing Editions kit on my black. I've got Versamark. So I'm going to stamp my, this is just a scrap. So I'm actually putting it, didn't really need to put it right in the middle. I kind of wasted it, but that's okay. So this is a silver embossing powder. I've explained before, I always keep my embossing powder in a plastic container because I make such a mess with it. Now, I'm trying to find my, here we are. Here are my tweezers that come with the Embossing Editions kit. That kit is worth the price just for these tweezers and the embossing buddy. All right, so I've got my heat tool. We're going to put it on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Hold it in one spot until you start to see the powder start to melt. So it goes from a dull matte finish to shiny. There we go. And then you can start moving it. So this says thank you. And then don't hold it too long because it'll start to kind of soak into the paper. So if you follow me, you know that I like to fussy cut. So if you don't like to fussy cut, you can actually just you could cut a piece out that is, about 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch wide. But I'm just going to take and fussy cut around this. I kind of went overboard on the piece of black cardstock. All right, so I've got that. Ooh, doesn't look good. I guess I could try and cut it a little bit straighter. There we go. Like that. Oh goodness, I really am not doing well with my, oh well, that's not coming off. Okay, the other thing I grabbed is, this is the silver ribbon. It's from the gold and silver 1/8 inch ribbon that is part of the online exclusives. So I'm cutting about 7 inches just over. So I'm going to just take this. I'm going to turn mine over. I can find my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back of this. And then I'm just going to take and zigzag my ribbon back and forth behind. And then I'll just trim it like that. And I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up and on. And I really should have some other embellishments, but I didn't grab any, so we will just use this gold or this silver ribbon. Okay, so we're just going to put that like that. And you thought it would be Halloween? Yeah, kind of, I might actually be using this in a blog hop that is Halloween, but it is it's a blog hop that we it's called Festive Friday Challenges, and we're challenged to use 3 items from the inspiration list. And so silver, black, and a stencil were the 3 that I chose from that. So you will see this on a Festive Fridays coming up that is Halloween themed. Hey Marilyn, welcome. All right, so there is the front of my card, but of course we have to do something on the inside of the card. And so I'm just going to grab my stencils again. So I'm just going to take this one, just going to kind of adhere that on and get my purple out. Probably should have done this when I had it all out, but that's okay. So I'm just going to take, and I'm only using, this is just Highland Heather. I'm not going to fuss too much on the inside of my card. So the cool thing about these stencils is, even though on this one, I don't have the, I didn't make a mark, you can still figure out where it goes on and line it up. It's better to use the notch to do that. But in this case, when I'm just kind of putting something on the inside of my card, I've just kind of lined up that middle. So there's the middle bit. And now this one, I think it's this one. Maybe it's that one. Again, I'm just kind of lining it up roughly. And I'm just going to do it a little lighter. There we go. That's So yeah, so you can, it's not too hard to line up, but the notches make it just so much easier. So that's for the inside of my card. And yesterday I couldn't use my liquid glue. I thought I got these going. Oh, I did. Here we go. I worked on getting the clogs out, I thought, but there we go. I'm so bad at leaving my lids off. That's just a really bad habit. So don't do that. All right. So then this can go on the inside of the card. All right. So there is my card for my mystery challenge. And again, I used black, silver, stencil, ribbon, and the embossing powder. So oh, that's a good idea, actually, Marilyn. What a great idea. If you want to get the leaves going in a different direction. I'm just trying to find my leaves. Of course, I can't. Oh, there they are. So this is the way the leaves are. So Marilyn's comment, and it's true, if you want the leaves to go in a different direction or have the different leaves, you can just turn your stencil over, and that would be the same for any of these. So if you wanted, for example, the different size flowers to be, you know, you could have the flowers going any way you want. You just have to line up your notches the same way or different ways. Anyway, they're great stencils. Oh my gosh, so fun. I've seen some beautiful cards made with these stencils. Thanks, Marilyn. Great ideas. All right, so there's my card. So don't forget, if you make cards, anytime make cards. Yes, definitely. Yeah, the other ones. The other one I will try on a team meeting. Leanne Binder, who's on the same team as I'm on, showed us how to, she did some cards using these masks, but she also showed us how you can emboss using the masks by using your silicone mat. And I have to play with it before I show you, but it was very cool. So you could actually color and then emboss, so like a dry embossing, really pretty. So I will play with that a little bit, and then I'll show you maybe one day next week. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, normally I'm on Saturday at 11, but I won't be because I have my my day-long crafting event here in Ladysmith. I have a bunch of people coming from not close by for my retreat this time around. So I will be back online on Sunday at 12 noon. So hopefully you'll join me then. All right, everybody, hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.